leisurely walk in the woods is no longer allowed in Nova Scotia, and it may not be for the rest of the summer.
Effective 4 p.m. today, we're telling Nova Scotians, stay out of the woods.
Nova Scotia's premier announced today a ban on activities in the forest because of extreme dry conditions and the risk of wildfires.
Hiking, camping, fishing, and the use of vehicles in the woods are not permitted. Trail systems through woods are off limits.
At these walking trails in the heart of Sydney, some agreed with the move while others didn't.
As long as you're not starting a fire or smoking, that kind of thing, you should be able to walk there.
It kind of sucks for the campers and anybody out tenting, but it's probably necessary.
At these wooded trails in Coxeath, the entrance is blocked off. The people who run the trails say while they understand the province's move, it's also unfortunate.
So there's some expansions and upgrades that we had hoped to finish this summer that, depending on how long this goes, it will be slowed down.
According to the province, the penalty for violators will be the same as it is for the burn ban put in last week, $25,000, though camping is allowed at registered campsites and some exceptions will be made for work in the woods.
So they can get a permit to carry out their operations on Crown lands. They may need to operate at night, which can take place.
The Premier says with nothing but more dry weather expected in the coming days, the move is being made now to try and avoid a major wildfire like the one outside of Halifax 2 years ago.
We've had briefings from Environment Canada about the near-term forecast, and there is no significant rain in sight.
As for how long this ban on being in the woods might remain in place, the Premier said it could be as long as Nova Scotia's burning ban until October 15th, unless conditions change in the meantime in the form of some significant rain.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. All right, this is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. As you just seen in this brief report, you have this province in Canada, Nova Scotia, all right, which I believe translates to New Scotland, okay? And the government over there has banned their citizens from utilizing the woods, okay? So no hiking, no utilizing of the trails, and no fishing. And if anyone would be found doing so, they mentioned a $25,000 fine, which is very harsh, which is very draconian, to say the least. And it really just goes to show how things are changing, upon the earth concerning, taking away the perceived liberty of the people, okay? And this is what we've been warning about concerning this New World Order system and concerning, this society that's being ushered in, which is in the form of, really a social credit score based society where you're going to be based upon your social behavior. You're going to be based upon your obedience, to the powers that be. Okay? And these are the examples that you see in TV series, like Black Mirror, so on and so forth, that show you where these things are heading. All right, that show you that this is the reality that the wicked elites of Esau Edom are manifesting upon the earth. Okay, this is all predictive programming that you've been seeing in these movies, that you've been seeing in these TV series, man, and it's all coming to light. Okay, you actually have it now, officially. They are unable to utilize, the woods, and they're saying it's the name of keeping you. It's in the name of keeping you safe, and it's in the name of stopping, wildfires from going off. Okay, which a lot of these events that you've been witnessing upon the earth concerning wildfires. You know, you had the ones in the West Coast as well, you know, in Babylon. All right, a lot of these things are engineered, again, to bring about, you know, the taking away of your perceived, you know, liberty that you think you have. Okay, or the Abkeo. All right, these are the techniques of the wicked elites of Esau Edom, and this is what we're witnessing in these last days, man. Okay, and the scriptures tell us in Revelation 13, you know, it tells us about the two horns like a lamb, you know, but speaking as a dragon, going into their harsh laws, you know, harsh measures that are being manifested in these last days. Okay. Now let's actually get the definition for draconian. All right, now it says draconian, it says exceedingly harsh, very severe, pertaining to Draco, a famous lawgiver of Athens, 621 BC, used especially in the phrase draconian punishment. A code of laws made by Draco, their measures were so severe that they were said to be written in letters of blood, hence any laws of excessive rigor. Okay, so it goes into harsh and severe laws. Okay, very severe, oppressive, and strict. So this is the reality, you know, that Esau Edom is manifesting, you know, upon the earth. He's manifesting severe and oppressive laws upon the people. Okay, which reminds me again of let's get Isaiah chapter 10. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1, and it reads, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." All right, and in the NLT it says, "Whatsoever awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws." Okay, and this situation is an example of that. All right, unfair laws being put in place by the wicked elites of Esau Edom. Okay, banning people from utilizing, you know, nature, from utilizing, you know, going amongst, you know, the trees, you know, the animals, so on and so forth, because they know that these things higher your vibration. They know that these things are good for your body. Okay, so ultimately they want to take away and weaponize these things against the people. Okay, and that's why they're bringing in, you know, the beast system. That's why they're bringing in, you know, these electric cars. That's why they keep reducing, you know, the miles per hour that you can do on the roads. You know, everywhere you go in London is 20 miles per hour. Okay, or you're going to get a fine, you know, you're going to get a ticket, and you're going to get your license, you know, revoked. Okay, so all of these measures are put in place for a reason. They want to take away everything, man. As the saying goes, you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's the agenda, you know, that's their plan, is to take away everything and have everything on a renting based, you know, system. Okay, like how you have, you know, Netflix and Amazon Prime and, you know, Spotify. They want everything in life to be that way. They don't want you to own anything. They want you to rent cars. They want you to have a social credits, you know, score system. They want to have the carbon, you know, footprint system, where everything that you do can be monitored and quantified, and then you can be given credits based upon your social behavior and based upon your obedience to the powers that be. So it's a complete, you know, slavery system that Esau Edom is manifesting in these last days, man. And this is the beginning of it. We're witnessing it right now. Okay, and don't think that, you know, such cases like this that's happening in Nova Scotia is not going to happen, you know, over here in the UK, over in Babylon the Great, of course, which is the focal point of prophecy. You know, things like this is going to become more and more common as we draw closer to the end of this man's kingdom. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to to touch upon, in this particular lesson. I don't want to make it too long, but Lord willing, this update was edifying. And until the next time, I'll say shalom.